Hi everyone, welcome to Ms. Lip Art. Today we're going to learn about Georgia O'Keeffe. She was an artist who was born on a farm in Wisconsin in 1887. She ended up living to be 98 years old, living in the New Mexico desert. She loved to paint flowers and she loved to paint them big. She filled entire canvases with one flower, sometimes two, all the way out to the edges and looking at them closely. We're going to be making a large Georgia O'Keeffe flower today. Do you like my new mat? Here is one of Georgia O'Keeffe's poppies. You can see that it takes up most of the paper and it's looking closely. The actual painting is about as big as a large window. You need waterproof markers. You can't use regular markers, so please get out some Sharpies or permanent markers for this. You can also use oil pastels or crayons. First, we're going to start in the center with a circle. I used purple, but you can use whatever color you wish. I'm going to make a design in the center of my flower. This time I'm going to make a swirly, but it could be a heart, it could be a star, it could be polka dots, it could be whatever you wish. Next, we're going to make some designs. To make them even, we're going to make one on the top and one on the bottom the same size, and then across from side to side. We're also going to make a diagonal line this way and another one this way. You can add more in between if you like. I'm going to change colors again and I'm going to add a circle on the end of some of my stems here. You could add a diamond shape, a heart shape, or you can even change shapes. I think I'm going to do a circle on every other one. And now I'm going to change colors again to pink. And I'm going to add a heart on the end of each line and color it in. You can leave them blank if you want to and add watercolor later. We're going to be watercoloring the entire flower after it's drawn. But I like to color these small details in because small ones are very hard to paint. If you are adding more lines or more shapes, you can pause the video now and do that. Here's some ideas. Somebody did more hearts than I did, with a heart in the middle. Look at all these hearts, but they can be whatever you want. It's time to add the petals. I'm changing colors and I'm going to add some small, short petals around the middle of my flower. You can add longer ones. You can make the petals go all the way around the long lines that you made. You can do this however you wish. I'm changing colors again to blue. And I'm going to add more petals to make my flower even bigger. This time I'm going to make it go down in the middle to add more shapes. In between each of my shapes, I'm adding two bumps, kind of like birds in the sky. Bump, 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 bump. But my flower is still not big enough. It needs to fill the whole page like Georgia O'Keeffe. So I'm going to have to add more petals. Changing colors again. And this time I'm going to do some petal hopping. In the center of each petal I've already made, I'm going to make a line that hops from one to the next. Hop, hop, Whee! Whee! Here I go all the way around. To make my flower the same, I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. Whee! Bonk. 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 Whee! Bonk. Bonk. And done. But it still doesn't touch the edges of the paper, so I need to add more. I'm going to add some designs in the middle to make it more interesting before I do that. Sometimes when you think of a design while you're making something, you have to do it when you think about it, or you might forget. Okay, still too small. New color. I think I'm going to make my petals a little bit taller this time so they take up even more space. Whee! Petal hopping. Boing, boing, boing. Oh, I've added 2 layers and it's still not big enough. Okay, I think I'm going to make a beautiful flower frame around it. I think I'll use some purple for this. And now we're done. I can't possibly fit any more petals, but it's time to add some designs. Here are some student works that show you that you can add leaves or crazy cool designs or geometric lines. You can make it however you want. I'm going to add some leaves, so I need 2 colors of green. Dark green and light green. I'm going to add several leaves to make it balanced out. You can add as many as you want to. Sometimes an odd number works the best for art. An odd number would be 1, 3, 5, 7. I don't know if you want more than that. But it looks to me like I have 5, which is an odd number. Now I'm going to draw a design on the inside of my leaves. You don't have to make a fancy design like this. You could just make lines, or you can leave your leaf blank. However you want, it's completely up to you. You can even color in a few of the designs with your Sharpie. Next, we're going to be painting, and I can't wait. Okay, everyone, it's time to paint. Get out your paints and your water. I'm going to teach you how to make pink with watercolor, because there is no pink. I like 16 color trays of paint. That way I can get magenta and light green and indigo and all of the colors I like. The way to make pink is to use a lot of water with red. I have a lot of water on my paintbrush. I'm going to paint the center of my flower with just water and add a teeny bit of red. And you have pink. If that's not dark enough, put just a little more red in it. When you're painting your flower, it's a good idea to paint things not next to each other. That way you don't have to worry about the paint running in. So I'm going to skip the second layer and go on to the third and carefully paint with blue. You can see I'm taking my time with this. If you want to go fast, you can. Remember, if the paint is not dark enough, simply add more without adding more water. You don't want your painting to be too wet. Now I'm going to do a speeded up version. You can either pause or you can watch the speeded up version and pause after that to finish your painting. You can see that I'm continuing to skip the layers so that the paints don't run into each other and mix. You might like how that looks, so you're welcome to try that. I'm adding a little yellow in the green leaves, and I'm carefully going back to the first layers that I let go, and I'm doing them again. With a wet painting, it's not a bad idea to turn your paper so your hand doesn't get wet. And voila, here we are with our finished painting. You can see it's big like Georgia O'Keeffe's. It almost touches the edges, and it's pretty big. Can you imagine if this painting was as big as a window in your bedroom? Or maybe 2 doors? Wow, that's a big painting. You can see that you can go to an art museum and see Georgia O'Keeffe's paintings. She's a wonderful, strong painting artist. Here are some artworks by my students. You can see that everybody has a different idea of the same project and the same lesson. Never be afraid that your painting doesn't look like mine. As a matter of fact, I like it even better when it doesn't. Use your own imagination, your own sense of color, and your own sense of wonder. You could fill the page, or you can add leaves, you can add polka dots, raindrops, sunshines, whatever you want. Just continue to make art and have fun. Thank you for watching Ms. Lip Art. If you want to make more art, please subscribe to my channel. Goodbye, friends. Thank you.